Offline evals are necessary but not sufficient. Shadow and Canary let production traffic teach you before full blast radius. This AiQualtest episode gives product, engineering, risk, and quality teams a practical, vendor-neutral playbook for Shadow Mode and Canary AI in 2026. Use a simple operating loop, mirror, compare, canary, and expand. That loop keeps conversations concrete when stakeholders disagree about quality or risk. Why this matters: real traffic distribution differs from gold sets. Shadow Mode compares candidates safely, Canaries limit exposure. Together they reduce incident severity for enterprise AI changes. Enterprises shipping AI into banking, insurance, healthcare, and digital operations cannot rely on hallway demos. Buyers, auditors, and internal second-line risk partners ask for repeatable methods, version artifacts, and clear ownership. If you cannot explain how you tested and what evidence you keep, you do not have AI quality, you have optimism. Core concepts come next. Do not memorize jargon, operationalize each idea into cases, metrics, and gates. Concept 1: Shadow Mirroring. Send traffic copies to a candidate without user-visible effects. Log diffs for review. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 2: Parity Metrics. Compare task success, safety events, latency, and cost, not only text similarity. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 3: Canary Slices. Start with low-risk cohorts or regions. Expand only when metrics hold. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 4: Kill switches. Automate rollback on safety or error budget breach. Humans alone are too slow. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 5: User Impact Ethics. Ensure canaries do not unfairly concentrate harm. Coordinate with compliance. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 6: Promotion Criteria. Write explicit expand/hold/rollback rules before the experiment starts. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Here is a real-world pattern. Setting: Retail pharmacy chain updating a prescription refill chatbot. Shadow Mode showed the new model answered faster but missed controlled substance policy checks more often. The canary never started. After fixing policy tools, a 2% canary held for a week with automated kill switches. Expansion proceeded with evidence packs for pharmacy compliance. Notice the pattern: define scope, run controlled tests, capture evidence, decide with named owners, and feed failures back into the next cycle. That is how AI quality becomes a system property, not a slide. Common mistakes slow mature programs. Mistake 1: Jumping from offline evals to 100% cutover. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 2: Comparing only BLEU-like text similarity in Shadow. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 3: Running canaries without automated rollback. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 4: Concentrating canary risk on vulnerable customer segments. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. The antidote is discipline, small goal sets, explicit thresholds, change control, and monitoring that connects production incidents back to evaluation suites. Key takeaways for your team. Takeaway 1: Use Shadow to learn without user impact. Takeaway 2: Canary with kill switches and written promotion rules. Takeaway 3: Measure safety and task success, not just wording. Takeaway 4: Expand gradually with compliance awareness. Write these into your team wiki and release checklist so they survive staffing changes. Your next steps this week: define shadow parity metrics for your next model or prompt change. Then, document canary percentages, cohorts, and kill switch thresholds before rollout. Keep the artifacts, prompts, datasets, scores, approvals so you can defend the decision later. Where this fits the AiQualtest method, learn the foundations with AiVELabs, practice with hands-on cases, and validate with governed evaluation evidence. Visit aiqualtest.com and learn.aiqualtest.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for weekly AI quality, evaluation, and governance episodes. Additional depth for practitioners: treat Shadow Mode in Canary AI as a controlled experiment. Version the inputs, freeze the environment where possible, record who approved exceptions, and rerun after every material change, model upgrade, prompt edit, retrieval index refresh, or tool permission change. Pair quality metrics with latency, cost, and safety signals so trade-offs are visible to product owners. When results regress, open an incident-style review even if the feature still looks fine in a demo. Governed teams prefer boring, evidence-backed releases over surprising wins that cannot be reproduced.